got Kolleen Chesley joining us. And Kolleen, I'm going to go ahead and go into your wonderful introduction here. We're so glad to have you on the stage. You've been here all day. So, Kolleen is an international best-selling author. She is the director of a nonprofit called the Powerful Women Collective, and she is a retreat success specialist. Now, if you Google Kolleen, you're going to see a lot of other distinctions on her name. But she is a powerful advocate for women. And so we're so excited because she's going to be talking to us on the subject of how collaboration is your superpower. Very true words, especially for a group like this. But before we go into that, a fun fact to share about Kolleen is that she used to be a skateboarder. That's amazing. And the music she's currently jamming to is by Nancy Sinatra. So, Colleen, we're excited to have you here. Her gift to everyone. So everyone here, she's going to be sharing a link for a PDF of all the things you need to know about having a successful retreat. I know that there are several of you, including me, who are dreaming and manifesting how we're going to create retreats. So Kolleen, your timing is perfect. And her gift to one of you lucky winners today is a retreat specialist coaching session for anyone thinking about hosting a retreat. And the value of this giveaway is over $250. So as we've done all day, be listening closely to Colleen's talk, because then I will present a question at the end, and the correct answer, you get eligible for winning her generous coaching session. So Kolleen, we are so excited to hear about collaboration. Please take it away.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. What an amazing introduction. I love that, especially sharing the skateboarding. I didn't know that was going to be shared. That's so cool. I love it. So let me ask you a question. What if the thing that we've been trying to do alone was never meant to be done alone? We as women are some of the most brilliant creators and some of the most dedicated workers that I know. But somewhere along the way, we women got the message that we had to figure it all out ourselves, build it all ourselves, only post on social media when you can showcase success. Don't tell anyone if you don't know how to do something. Look amazing all the time and do whatever you can to make it happen, including not take vacations or breaks. Fake it until you make it. Hustle, grind, repeat. And if I've learned anything over the past 20 years leading women in business, it's this. That approach is not only exhausting, it's ineffective. Now, I've got a bachelor's degree with a minor in finance, and I've worked for 25 years in the financial industry. During that time, I also founded a nonprofit and ran it for 20 years, supporting women in business. Under my leadership, we did 11 annual conferences, with the largest having 175 people in person. We did 6 editions of a print magazine, hundreds of episodes of a podcast, numerous leadership classes, charitable projects, and more. And a lot of this I did myself. And then the pandemic hit, and I was shocked with the statistics that I found when I deep dived into the trends in women's entrepreneurship. I ended up hitting what I later learned was a unique form of burnout called misalignment burnout. And it actually occurs when your reality doesn't line up to what you thought you were doing. And that's exactly what happened to me. And I call that my brick to the face moment. During the pandemic, I reflected like so many of us did. And I looked back at all the work I've done for women in business, the 60-hour work weeks, no vacations for years, the family and social opportunities I passed up willingly to put the nonprofit first. And it all came to a crashing halt when I saw the global statistics for women in business. And I realized that all this work that I had done, even though I did amazing things for women in business, it still really hadn't set up women in their businesses in the right way to handle the tough stuff when they really needed to. And today, I want to talk about a better way for women to thrive. Now, here's the global statistic that hit me like a brick to the face. Did you know that women entrepreneurs are leaving $5 to $7 trillion on the table? It's true. Now, let me break down why this is such a big deal. First, I'll start with some good news. The good news is that for women, since the pandemic, women entrepreneurs are now close to opening almost half of all new businesses in the United States. Prior to the pandemic, women were only opening about 20 to 25% of all new businesses. So yay, women, we're opening a lot more businesses. However, the bad news is that according to the real data, women-owned businesses are not as effective and not as efficient as male-owned businesses. The United States uses a term called participation, and reports show that if women entrepreneurs participated at the same level as male entrepreneurs, we would bring in that additional 5 to 7 trillion in the global GDP annually. Now, I bet a few of you squirmed when I mentioned that word participation. It sounds bad if women participated like male entrepreneurs, right? Well, don't blame the word. This is an economic term that means how much is your business adding to the world in relation to a number of areas. Are you creating jobs? Are you making money? Are you innovating and creating? Are you supporting the local economy? Are you socially responsible? And what other opportunities does your business impact our world? So participation is not a lack of passion, intention, or drive. I used to think that women needed more skills and they needed more ambition. And that's what I used to do in the nonprofit for years. If I could support women enough, if I could encourage them enough, if I could connect them enough, then truly they would find success in their businesses. However, I've met enough of you strong women out there to know that that's not the issue. The truth is that women are capable and they're passionate. The power gap exists not because we're not capable. Let me say that again because that was a double negative. The power gap exists not because we're not capable. The power gap actually exists because we are over functioning in isolation. We are doing admin at midnight. We are saying yes to everything, even when it's not aligned. We are following prescriptive business practices because that's how we've been taught that businesses are done. We as women are working hard because we've been told that's what women do. And we're telling ourselves lies, like it's okay to suffer alone. That's what the hustle's all about. It's easier to do it myself than to ask for help. That, my friends, is the power gap. And I am here to help close it. So you alluded to my titles on LinkedIn earlier. And yeah, if you read about me, you'll see that my titles on LinkedIn say that I'm a chief table shaker, I'm a lead visionary, and I'm a head cheerleader. I chose those titles not because they're traditional titles in business, but because I'm a little bit of a rebel. And it already got leaked that, yeah, my rebellion comes from my childhood ultimately. So if you only take one thing from my presentation today, I hope it's to change your mind to see collaboration as an act of resistance and as an act of rebellion, going against something that we as women think we're really good at already, relationship building. But I'm here to tell you that relationship building is just the surface. Here's the truth. We know collaboration is amazing, and many of us in the room collaborate every single day in many areas of our business already. However, I want you to change your mindset today to look at collaboration as not something that's nice to do to help someone else. Think of it instead as an intentional strategy. So today I'm going to talk to you about 3 different types of strategic collaboration that I see working right now. And those areas are revenue collaboration, partnering to unlock hidden revenue. This is all about building stronger businesses together. This is a lot of what I do in my business with women. I'm also going to talk about visibility collaboration, like co-hosting events, taking stages together, expanding our influence. This is a lot of what I do with many joint partners, including Women Explore, the retreat company that I actually work with. And then the third area I'm going to talk about is support collaboration. This is asking for help. This is what I do actually with the new nonprofit that I founded 2 years ago after I burned the other one intentionally to the ground. So the first thing I want to talk about is revenue collaboration. When we think about collaboration as a strategy, it's not about sharing space. It's actually about sharing success. And here's what I've noticed. So many women in business are excellent collaborators. until money enters the equation. We'll brainstorm together, we'll show up for each other, we'll cheer each other on. But when it comes to sharing revenue building ideas, passing warm leads, or putting each other into paid rooms, we start to hesitate. I want to challenge that because strategic collaboration is one of the most underutilized revenue strategies that we as women have. And when it's done right, it can really unlock real growth. A simple shift is to think about this. Let's say you find somebody that's amazing. They have something you need. You have something that they need. You could always swap services. Absolutely. However, consider actually paying for each other's services like true clients. Invoice each other, even if it's a discounted rate. That way it's legitimate. It builds credibility, and it makes sure that we provide good service to each other. Then instead of saying, hey, this person's amazing, you should meet her, then I can say I've worked with her. She helped me with my business and I paid her. That kind of proof builds trust, and it turns collaboration into a true business strategy and not something you just do because you like each other as friends. Now, here's another strategy. Hire for outcome, not for effort. We've all got so much in our world, and we probably already hire people to take things off our plate. We hire people to do the work we don't want to do. Also, in addition to that, consider hiring roles that are directly connected to revenue results. People that might bring in leads, drive conversions, confirm event attendance, put in automations to screen your prospects instead of meeting with everyone. Instead of looking for what can I get off my desk, ask yourself, who in my circle can I pay that can help deliver more revenue to my business? Because you're helping that woman when you do that too. And real revenue collaboration requires clarity, generosity, and honesty. But when it's done right, it's one of the fastest ways to grow your business and to elevate others at the same time. So if revenue collaboration is about building stronger businesses together, visibility collaboration is about being seen together. It doesn't matter how great your offer is or how solid your systems are if nobody knows you exist. The power gap doesn't just show up in revenue, it shows up in visibility too. Women are often taught to wait to be discovered, to stay humble, play small until we've earned the spotlight. Let's shift that. Let's talk about what it really looks like to collaborate our way into being seen. So visibility collaboration isn't about more marketing. It's not about being more loud. It's not about being on more podcasts or more stages. It's actually about amplifying your message. It's about being aligned and being seen by the right people at the right time. And here's the truth. If you want to become visible, the fastest way is to not do it alone. It's with the support of other powerful women. Women already love promoting each other, and we do it so naturally. You're probably already doing visibility collaboration in your business. However, I'm going to give you a couple examples about how to use visibility collaboration as an actual strategy in your business. So if you've done anything in your business, think about if you've written a book, a chapter, launched a program, started a podcast, hosted an event, been on a stage. Look for a couple other people that have done the same thing, maybe in a little different area, but the people that align with what you do. And their message also aligns with the message you promote as well. Consider pulling them together and do a collaborative spotlight event where you each get to talk about your stuff. Another idea is pick several women in your network and do swap interviews where you alternate who gets the spotlight each time. This is very similar to a podcast swap, but it's a strategic visibility boost for both the guest and the host. Because what it does is it doesn't position you as a podcast guest and a podcast host. It positions you as a collaborator and as an expert, and as a person that brings those two together. It allows you to shine differently, and you just created a whole new stage for yourself. The last visibility collaboration strategy I'll share is to don't wait for somebody to spontaneously discover your brilliance. You can shine the spotlight on each other. There are hundreds of awards, honors, and lists that recognize women in business. Instead of wondering, am I worthy for this? Make it a practice to nominate a woman you admire, and then ask somebody to nominate you. It's not about ego. It's a visibility strategy. And when women work together like that, it's unstoppable. The more we normalize lifting each other into the spotlight, the faster we all rise. These aren't favors and these aren't friends helping each other because we're nice. They're strategic visibility moves that deliver real results for your business. You don't have to wait for it. We can build it together. The third area I want to talk about is support collaboration. Support collaboration is my fancy way of saying asking for help. Most women, and including me, struggle with asking for help. And if you attend our nonprofit networking events in person, we do an exercise I call Put Your Business Hand Up. And I intentionally do it because I'm normalizing asking for help and changing the way that we ask. Before I started, I always talk about my friend Ellen. Ellen's someone who used to live in Pensacola where I live. She moved away many years ago. When she comes in town, we still brainstorm business ideas. So she always lets me know, and we tend to meet up for dinner at the beach. A few months ago, we had met up. We were finishing our dinner. We were walking downstairs, and you have those conversations where it's just, oh yeah, one more thing, one more thing, one more thing. And it seemed like our conversation wasn't ending. Well, it was getting late, and I was honestly wanting to head home. So I asked her where her car was, and she admitted that she had actually Ubered there. I had just passed her hotel on the way to the beach to come out to meet her. So I offered to drive her back, but then I also said, so we can continue our conversation. During that ride, we actually talked about stuff we had never talked about before, and it was a super deep conversation. I asked her later what might have shifted, and she said when she was in my car, she realized I didn't offer her a ride. I offered to continue our business conversation, and that was the shift. She saw it as me offering business support, not a personal favor of her needing a ride, and that what was different. That experience caused me to shift from asking for help, which sounds so demeaning, to raising your hand, which is all about empowerment. And here's what I tell every woman I work with. Put your business hand up. Put your hand up when you see someone that needs help. That's obvious. But maybe consider putting your hand up every single day. Reach out to one woman you see out there rocking it. Ask her for help for something, even a small, tiny thing, and offer her something in return. Nothing changes if we stay quiet. And you don't get support until you're willing to be seen. If we don't normalize asking for help, the power gap will continue to grow. So let me ask you, what are you still trying to do alone? And what might shift if you put your business hand up today? Collaboration isn't about needing help because you're weak. It's about choosing support because you're strategic and you're smart. It's about realizing your next level doesn't come from doing more alone. It comes from linking arms with others. And when you do, it actually gets easier. So let me ask again, what would happen if you put your business hand up today? Now, I've covered 3 strategic areas where collaboration can be used to lead to more money, more visibility, and more support. Collaboration isn't a fallback plan when used strategically. It's a power move. It's not a weakness, it's wisdom. If we want to close the power gap, if we want to stop over-functioning in isolation, if we want to build businesses that actually work for us, our families, and for our communities, and we want to recapture the $5 to $7 trillion we women are leaving on the table every year, then we need to stop doing it alone. What can you do to stop suffering and struggling in silence and start collaborating with strategic intention? Because your next level isn't waiting for you to work harder, and the power gap isn't getting any smaller if you don't. It's waiting for you to raise your hand, link arms, be powerful, and work smarter. So let's be powerful together, and let's close the power gap.
Oh, Kolleen. Oh, woo! I don't know about you guys, like this, and this is not part of the quiz. While I ask Kolleen this next question, then I know Deb's probably dying to comment. Pop in the chat if you are feeling courageous and brave. What's something that you're doing alone? Like, just this isn't the contest. Just what are you doing that you're doing alone that after listening to Kolleen's talk, it just, I know we all thought of something. We all thought of something we're doing alone. And so, Kolleen, I want to say that was incredible. You know, I spent 25 years in corporate America on golf courses with men, in boardrooms with men, watching them do business. men don't hesitate to ask for things from each other. They might be chatting it up about something, but then they're like, hey, dude, I really need you to put in that call to that CEO so I can get that deal done. I watched them do that. But for some reason, when it comes to women having those conversations, we almost feel like, ooh, should I ask? Have I earned permission to ask that? Do I have the right to ask for someone to do something for me? And Kolleen, I think you really exposed what we're missing out on by not considering those three types of strategic collaboration. So Deb, I'll let you comment, and then I think we should ask Kolleen probably one more question.
Okay, well, that was amazing and brilliant, as I knew it would be. I love this woman. We've been chatting for more than a little bit of time, and she is what you see here is exactly who she is on and off camera. We have great conversation about the expansion of business, and it's like her eyes get bright and she starts ding, 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 and it gets expansive. I know that she's going to be giving some really beautiful information about planning retreats, which can feel like you're on an island by yourself, particularly if you're the one that's choosing the vision for the retreat. And she's doing some great things, and she's going to be doing some great things for us. Surprise, surprise, next year. We'll just keep that as a surprise. But I do believe that the philosophy around asking is what she's challenging us with, because I think that we feel comfortable asking to a certain degree. But then it gets to this really strong place where I don't know whether it's worthy or deservedness or uncomfortableness, but like you said, Stephanie, asking to talk to the head of the head. I think people feel like they need to earn it. And I'm not saying that someone doesn't work for the level that they're at, but there is something really cool about having, again, we talked about it earlier if you were with us, that when you're sitting in that room, when you're at the meeting, when you're at this, when you're sitting in a circle or a car, that giving the other person permission, no matter where they're at, quote unquote, in their business or life, to be able to ask for what they need to go wherever they need to go. I think it's the permission that we're going to be giving each other. And you're right, like, okay, we do the same thing. Let's get on the same stage. Okay, we do the same thing. Let's get in the same book. Okay, let's do our TV shows together. Let's do our magazines together. Let's do our, our speeches together, our this together. Yeah, I love it. It was very, very motivational, very empowering, and very rock and roll.
Yeah, Kolleen, you are so rock and roll. Kolleen, I'm going to do the quiz, the contest chat for your retreat specialist coaching session. And I'm going to ask, and then while everyone's typing in, I just want you to comment, do a concluding comment on what Deb and I were commenting on. We'll do it back and forth.
Sure.
So everybody at the beginning, Kolleen was talking about COVID and how she noticed she got a big brick in the face moment. And it was 2 words. Well, I'll give you the second word. It was something burnout. And I had never heard that phrase before. So what was that kind of burnout that Kolleen experienced? Put that in the chat along with your email address. And Kolleen, final thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely. People are probably most familiar with the common forms of burnout. Usually that's exhaustion burnout, which is, doing everything. And then there's also, exhaustion burnout basically is caused from lack of self-care. And then there's overwhelm burnout, which is doing everything. So the one I talked about is not one of those two. It's actually a different one, but those are the two that most people are mostly associate burnout with. So what a great question. Thank you for that, Stephanie. And this is just a great opportunity. I just love collaboration, and I'm a very strategic person. So when I think about anything in business, why do anything in business without an ROI behind it? And so that's how I look at collaboration as well, is if we look at it as a strategy, it can actually create more for our businesses and actually help us in the long run a lot easier than just the surface level of collaboration that's typically done. So I hope this was encouraging and supportive. And if somebody is not a retreat person and you win the grand prize, then I'll still do the 1 hour, but it'll be on revenue optimization. if you would rather do that as well. I know sometimes retreats aren't everybody's thing. So I do, as Stephanie mentioned, if you Google me, I do lots of things. So I'm sure I can figure out something that will work in your world.
All right.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Hearts and clap hands. Thank you so much. And